Day, ma'ams and sirs, and welcome to the Number 9 with Tommy podcast. Tommy has promised a hot take on a controversial topic. We've had quite a few of those over the past few years. Let's see if this will top it. As far as these school shootings, what can we do to stop it? Americans are basically flying that plane without a window in the cockpit. But we'll come back around to that at the end of the show. For now, I've got a wonderful, gout-footed friend that you should know. Tommy fucking Washington, what's been up, man? How are you?
Pat, I never said it was going to be a hot take. Just to be clear.
I believe you said controversial.
I didn't say it was going to be controversial.
What did you say?
I said, you're not going to like my take. And then you said, but you're going to love mine with a bunch of crying faces. And then I said, probably not because it's not going to be controversial. And you said, we'll see. And I said, in 153 episodes, you've never had a controversial take. I don't think it starts today.
I disagree with that. But there was only one crying face. I don't know why there was a bunch of crying faces. And my crying faces were because I said I wanted to share something that you had said, and I didn't fucking...
What? That there was 19 children killed, 2 adults, and how did that even make the news? That's a normal Tuesday?
Yes.
Is it not? In today's world, is that not a fucking normal day at this point?
I don't think that it's a normal Tuesday when 19 elementary school kids are gunned down. No, I do not.
Well, then you and I have 2 different views of these United States.
All right. I'm excited with how this has already started. You seem pretty hot.
I am pretty hot about it. You've kind of lagged out there. What did you say?
I said excellent.
Yeah. I will say this. I'm going to start this. We're going to cover this at the end of the show. I do want to introduce C Money, thePrince. He's on the show. Say hi, Colin.
Hi.
Hi.
Money.
Hi.
Colin, if you could not whisper, also if you could not cover your mouth, also if you could not face away from the microphone, also if you could use your outside/inside voice, that'd be great.
Yeah, is this better?
There you go. Yes. That was fucking perfect.
I was far away from my mic, that's why.
Well, don't be far away from your mic. We have shit to do, okay?
All right.
Anyway, so we're going to get to this at the end of the show. I don't want to spend too much time on it because it's super depressing, super upsetting for most people, and that's not what this show is meant to be. Yeah, we bring you some of the news of stuff, what's going on, some hot takes, but there's a serious factor to this, and well, Pat and I agree that laughter is the best medicine, and you should be able to make jokes about everything. This is borderline the line. You know what I mean? There isn't many jokes that you can make about this. Do you agree, Pat? If you're listening, you should see Pat's face right now. If you're just listening in your car, you should see Pat's fucking face. It is... You are a horrible person.
No, here's my response to what you asked me. It depends on the intention of the joke, man. If the joke is to get a laugh and is not meant to, not intended to offend, then no, man. There's no fucking line. I don't give a shit. There's no fucking line.
All right, that's your take. I would not personally, and this is just me personally, and I'm not going to say I'm going to get mad. I might call them fucked up if they say a fucked up joke about a school shooting of 19 elementary school kids, but I'm not going to be like upset and say cancel them. However, that's
like I can't think of what the joke would be that would be funny, but if I heard it, I would not be offended by it. You know, like there's got to be some kind of humor found in this. I can't find it.
Well, we might find it today in the show.
Okay.
Probably not. Pat, you want to get into? We're gonna do memes, right? But we added a meme into the end, and it was really a piece of mail. So I want to thank Blue Justice, Blue Crusader, Blue Cape, whatever the fuck it is that we call you these days, for this piece of mail. When I saw this. Yeah, when you sent this in, I laughed my fucking ass off and thought, Pat's going to hate this.
But this is funny. Real nice.
This is funny. Anyway, let's start with memes. Colin, you keeping along? You paying attention? Get off your phone.
Yeah, I'm not on the phone.
All right. So our first meme here It's a picture of what we're assuming is a scientist. It's a guy in a white lab coat with a button-up shirt on. I guess that's what scientists look like. And it says, "Scientists, my discoveries are useless if taken out of context." And then the media, scientists claim their discoveries are useless.
That's not the most accurate fucking depiction of American media right there.
Panic Chronic is a classic. And that is the God's honest truth. What's the next one here? Oh, don't know what happened there. Nope. Sometimes
the old instant fade out. I like your transition game.
Sometimes this happens. This guy claims to have found $1 million Budweiser can 2 months too late.
Fucked up.
You think that's possible?
It must have been a competition that had ground rules, man.
All right. Pat, you want to do this one?
Yeah, this is a post from somebody I'm going to say on Twitter. I can't fucking tell where these things come from. He says, found a job opening that requires 8+ years of Swift experience. Swift is a programming language that came out 5 years ago. And if that's not a fucking accurate depiction of the job market right now, a bunch of motherfuckers who have no clue what they're looking for some shit that they can't even find. And this is just a funny ass meme. It just says, well, tomorrow fucking sucked.
Yep. That's the story of my life.
I think that's hilarious.
That's the story of my life right there. And this last one, is the meme slash the mail. Hashtag wrong heart. May 23rd, 1999. Owen Hart passed away. And they got the wrong one there. It's a bad day.
I hate Mason for that.
Mason's not watching because he's currently streaming on his little channel there. But I'm sure this would give him a good chuckle. I'm sure it would. Thank you for all of you pieces of shit. Hashtag wrong heart. You know what I mean? Is Bret Hart still alive?
He's still alive.
I'll tell you what. His daughter is a horrible wrestler. But anyway, keep it moving.
Who are you talking about?
Or is that his niece? Natalia?
Natalia is his niece.
Yeah, she's fucking god-awful.
And she might be the most prolific female wrestler of all time. I don't know. She's got to be up there.
Prolific?
Yeah, she's had the longest career.
Yeah, and it's awful. Every step of it. The only reason she's still wrestling is because her last name's Hart.
I mean, you know, everybody has... First off, her last name's Neidhart. But second off, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I appreciate yours.
Do you not agree with it? I think you agree with it, but you're such a Bret Hart cocksucker that you refuse to, make him.
Natalia is essentially the big show of the women's division. They've turned her babyface and heel so many times, and they just use her where they need her. She's hung around. She's got some titles, but nothing crazy. She's worth every penny that they've paid her.
Sure. Anyway, so we're gonna do something new here. It's I'm not really sure what this is. What is this? The best records in all major sports?
So I stumbled upon this. This is the coolest shit. It's the best record in a sport versus the worst record in that sport, and we're talking franchise, the whole kit and caboodle from its inception to current day. So there's a couple sports, but I thought some of them were really neat. Numbers wise, just like statistically speaking, some of them were kind of fucking cool.
Okay. I'm gonna have to fix these because the way you put them in the timeline, I can't read the bottom half. So I gotta fix all of them. Yeah, don't worry, I'm fixing it real quick.
Okay, I'll wait.
No, you can keep going. I know what the first one is.
All right, so the first one is Major League Baseball. The best record in Major League Baseball is the New York Yankees. 1903 to present, they've played 18,542 games, 10,500-ish wins, 7,950-ish losses. They've tied 88 times. Their overall win percentage is .566. So 56% of the time they've won. 56.6% of the time. Now that's the absolute best baseball record in the game. The worst baseball record in the game is the Miami Marlins, who have been around since 1993. They played 4,500-ish games. They've had 2,100-ish wins, 2,450-ish losses. Their overall winning percentage is 46.1. So here's why I thought this was crazy. This is the baseball one that really caught my eye. The best team in the history of baseball compared to the worst team in the history of baseball are only divided by 10% win-loss. Isn't that fucking crazy?
Well, see, it's kind of unfair because you have over 100 years on one team and you have less than 30 on the other.
Yeah, but you're only comparing the two bookends here. What about all the other teams? They're all within that 10%.
That's true. That's true.
That's fucking insane. Like, there's nobody just dominating the shit out of that thing. And I mean, the Yankees are considered the most dominant team in sports, probably, and they're only 10% better than the worst team in the league overall. That's crazy, man.
They also play a lot of fucking games. You know what I mean? Like they play
so many fucking games.
They play 162 games, and a great season for a team is to have 100 wins. Like that's
right.
a top. So you're finished. Like even if you finish 70% for the season, that's good. You know what I mean? Where in football or something like that, you got to finish 80, 90% to even make the playoffs.
Well, no, there's 10-6 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, but not a lot. You know what I mean? Most of those teams they have to be 80 or 90% to have a lock into the playoffs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. To lock your seed, sure.
Unless you play in the NFC East.
And we'll see the other sports, but to me that was just like I was like, what the fuck? So I just kept reading on and taking pictures of them because I was like, this is crazy. So we're moving on to the NFL. Griff, you're fucking welcome. The best record in NFL history, the Green Bay Packers, from 1921 to present. They've played 1,400-ish games, 780-ish wins, 580-ish losses, 38 ties. Their winning record is 57.3%. That's the best team in NFL history, wins 57.3% of their games. The worst record, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 1976 to present. They played 725 games, 290-ish wins, 430-ish losses, one tie. That's crazy that they've only tied once. Their overall win percentage is 40.2. So again, not a huge spread from what I would have guessed.
Do you want to
this is 17%.
Do you want to know
between
what's
the
really
best team and the worst team? What?
Do you want to know what's really crazy about this statistic?
You're going to talk about the last year that we just watched?
No.
And the last 2 years?
No.
Okay.
Kinda. But Tampa Bay has the worst record in all of football ever, right? Win percentage wise, right? They also have 2 Super Bowl wins. Right? So I gotta check something. Panic Rock just sent me a message privately, so I gotta read what that says. But there's teams out there that have no Super Bowl wins and have better records lifetime than the Bucks.
Yeah. And
how fucking wild is that?
You're talking about the Bucks are the worst, historically the worst team in the NFL, and have had Tom Brady on their team for 2 years. I mean, that's fucking insane to me.
Yeah, but they also won a Super Bowl before. Right. You know what I mean?
The next one is the NHL, the National Hockey League. The best record, the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Started in 2017 to the present. They've played 235 games. They've won 133. They've lost 80. They've tied 22. Their win percent is 56.6. To put that in perspective, just so we're on the same fucking page here, the winningest team in baseball, 56.6. The winningest team in football, 57.3. The winningest team in hockey, 56.6. That's insane to me that nobody's won fucking 70, 80% of their games. Who just said that? Oh.
Bro, how the fuck are they doing so well out of Vegas? Blows my mind, honestly. Oh, who's he talking about?
The Las Vegas Golden Knights, the NHL
okay.
team.
Oh, well, Panachronic, I don't know if you knew this. He's a big hockey fan. So, that's pretty interesting. He sent me, this is fucking hilarious, and I wish he could have sent this picture in to the chat so everybody could see. but the way your camera and lighting look makes your right arm look so fucking small. Because your other one is so much closer that it looks huge. It's fucking hilarious. Sorry, I had to figure that out.
Look at my hands compared to each other. Jesus.
But again, so like this team, like they only have 4 fucking years of playing hockey.
Yeah. Okay. So I think first off, I think all of them they had to have at least 100 games for the record. So the winningest and losingest teams with at least 100 games under their belt. The losingest team in hockey, the Arizona Coyotes, 1979 to present, played roughly 2,900 games, won roughly 1,300 of them, lost roughly 1,450 of them, 159 overtime losses. Jesus, they shouldn't ever go to overtime. They've won 45% of their games. So again, you're talking about an 11.6% spread between the winningest and losingest records. This is fucking insane to me. I wish I knew this. This is why gambling is so fucking difficult, man.
Yo, if they win half of those overtime losses, that changes them from a 45% team to a 50% team.
Yeah, then they're the winningest fucking team in sports history.
No, they still wouldn't be there, but...
So, the NBA, this one shatters everything we've talked about so far. The best record, the San Antonio Spurs, from 76 to now. They played 3,700 games, 2,260 wins, 1,440 losses. Overall, 61%. Now, that's huge. I mean, that's the highest one so far. The worst record, the Minnesota Timberwolves, 1989 to present. They've played 1,050 games, they've won 1,050 games. They've lost 1,580 games. They are at 39.9% wins. So now this is what I would expect. There's a 32% jump from best to worst. That makes fucking sense to me.
22%, but I got you.
Yeah, you get my math. And then this one, if that wasn't bad enough, you've got Major League Soccer. The best record is the Seattle Sounders from 2009 to the present. They've played 422 games, 199 wins, 99 losses, 124 draws. These motherfuckers tie more than they lose. That's pretty impressive. Their overall win percent, 47.1. The winningest team in Major League Soccer wins 47.1% of their games.
So, again, this is a little, like, we need a little bit better of statistics here, because this losingest team has only been around for, 2 years, 3 years? They've only played 90 games. Like,
games.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Pat, Mr. 30%. But everybody knows when you start a brand new team, like, you're going to suck the first few years. That's not fair.
Yeah. That's beside the point. What the important part is they've won 15.4% of their games. These motherfuckers getting shut down fast.
They've won 19 games. It's rough.
They've won 19 games since 2019.
And they've had 18 ties. They've literally almost had more ties than they have wins. They're almost tied for the same number.
I'm not fucking kidding. These motherfuckers win less games than the number of vacations you and I have taken.
Probably.
That's fucking insane.
Like, well, but then you get into things like, what do you consider a vacation? You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what. At this point, a vacation seems like not having to watch the fucking Cincinnati FC play soccer, because that sounds like the worst experience ever. Can you imagine being a Cincinnatian? I don't know what they would be. Can you imagine being a Bengal and having to root for that fucking club, man? That sucks.
All right, so this next one is bad advertising.
Please. Yeah, bad advertising. I came up with that one on my own. That's pretty good, right?
You're amazing. So I put them up here because obviously it's, if you're watching a live stream, you want to see them. If you're listening, some of them might not hit for you, but you can go check out the live stream and see them.
These are legit advertisements from companies that regret doing them. Tom, fire away.
Oh my god, this one's brutal. I didn't read these beforehand. This one said it's a Mr. Clean ad for those magic eraser sponges, and it says, "This Mother's Day, get back to the job that really matters." And this lady's cleaning.
Not just that, the woman is cleaning with her daughter.
Yeah.
Like, Procter and Gamble received a lot of backlash after their Mother's Day ad that incorporated a woman cleaning and the slogan stating, "This Mother's Day, get back to the job that really matters." That's fucking... The person who wrote that is... You know that they pitched this. I was thinking about this as I'm looking at it, just dumbfounded. And they were like, I have a great idea. They were in a board meeting. Like, I have a genius idea. Let's make something that overstates how important mothers are. Let's talk about the real important job is being a mother and keeping the home. And let's do it with our scrubbing sponge. And everybody was like, this is fucking brilliant. This can't possibly go wrong. And never once thought, like, how could this go wrong?
That's sexist.
Oh my God, it's so fucking good. I love it. The next one, Tom?
This is a Domino's ad, and it says, calling all Karens. And right above Karens, it says, nice. Domino's advertised a campaign stating, calling all nice Karens. This campaign allowed women named Karen to receive a free pizza if they were a pleasant customer. The problem with this campaign was that it received a lot of complaints and ended up getting pulled. This is hilarious.
Can you imagine the group of people that would have to get a fucking ad campaign pulled for free fucking pizza? You're such a fucking Karen that they offered you free pizza and you fucked it up. This is why you exist. It's not us, it's you, motherfucker. Are you fucking kidding me? I'll tell you what, if they said free pizza for Fatty Patty every time he calls himself Fatty Patty, I would tattoo it on my fucking face and go to Domino's and eat Domino's every fucking day and die fat and happy. Fucking Karens. This is the greatest tweet ever tweeted.
It's a Burger King tweet. Burger King UK. And it says, women belong in the kitchen.
Again. This was motherfuckers in a board meeting who were like, this is brilliant because we're saying we want women to work for us. People are going to love this. Women should be in the kitchen. Write it down. Send that out. Tweet that shit. What do the kids do with the social media? Do that. You fucking morons.
That's a bad one, too. Jeez.
They tweeted that shit on International Women's Day, by the way.
Yeah. Classic. Yeah, it had 666,000 likes, too. I didn't read this one, but this one looks pretty crazy.
This was called The Drop. It was a $100,000 cash giveaway. And there's 4 steps to get your free tickets. All you have to do is head to the Drop Facebook page and click Going. Step 2, click the tickets to get your free tickets. Step 3, fill out your details and receive a confirmation email and your tickets. Step 4, the gates open at 11 a.m. You must be inside the venue before 11:45 a.m. And then a safety warehouse that had advertised a PR event where they promised to do a $100,000 cash drop. More than 1,000 people showed up to the event expecting to collect the money, but instead collected retail vouchers that looked like $5 bills. This left people outraged as they reported being trampled on and spending a lot of money to get to the event. You fucking assholes.
Well, technically, they were giving away $100,000 of their cash. They weren't lying.
That is kind of true. Is advertising really cash? It's an expense. That's true.
Just saying. Just saying, Pat.
Such a shithead thing to do.
I like it.
Tom, I'm so sorry that your son is on the podcast for this next one.
Oh boy. Pat, why don't you go ahead and read this one?
So, U.S. Airways tweeted at that cat's cat We don't like to hear this, Alex. Please provide feedback to our customer service relations team. This is after somebody complained about U.S. Airways. The problem is they also sent a picture of what I'm going to say is a woman about as spread eagle as you can be. I mean, her feet are basically at her ears, and she's got a 777 model jet going right up her hoo-ha. This was tweeted from U.S. Airways. From U.S. Airways, and stayed up on the internet for an hour, and they ended up having to make a public apology and stated that they would investigate the issue. First off, I love that this picture even exists. Who took a 777 model and rammed themselves with it?
There's no way that's real.
Well, it's all blacked out. You can't tell.
Do you want to know why all this shit started? Like all these companies, like on Twitter. It's because of that bitch at Wendy's. You ever watched the one?
Say that Wendy's is nasty,
but they're not nasty like this. You know what I mean? They keep it in check to a certain degree.
Oh yeah, they're nasty like they're amazing.
Yeah, but then you got Burger King out there saying that women belong in the kitchen. Like, you fucking idiot.
Oh man,
how did you think that was going to go well?
This next one's my personal favorite. It's a KFC Australia tweet, and it says, "Warning, not safe for work. Something hot and spicy is coming soon." And it is a picture from what looks like a porno. There's a guy leaned back on the couch with his arms spread out, one around what looks like his girlfriend, who's in a sexy red dress, and she's reaching over his lap, and it is blurred out. The something hot and spicy coming soon is a new type of chicken. Clearly, they posted the image to get people talking, which it did because the post went viral. The post was only up for an hour before they removed it, as the comments stated that the image was inappropriate and misogynistic. I love everything about this. I actually think that this is brilliant advertising because they didn't do anything wrong.
Do you think that the chicken was cream-filled?
I think that if she had her other hand in his lap as well, they could have said, no, she's holding a bucket of chicken. The fact that she's only got one hand over his lap really did them in on this one.
Not when she was done, it wasn't. Oh, man.
So that's all I have for bad advertising.
Bad advertising. We should make a segment like this if we can find more of these.
I would love to. There's a lot of companies that do a bad job translating. For example, I don't know what an exact one would be, but like Pepsi, instead of being like it refreshes or it quenches your thirst and refreshes you, could say like, this is fucking, I don't know, Jewish blood. And like it's on a fucking billboard in Japan, but they've translated it improperly. So I might be able to find some bad translations in advertising. I love those.
Sounds great, Pat. Sounds great. All right, let's get into Three Finger News and the reason why Colin's on the show.
Let's do it.
I'm going to drop in our little shocker thing. I just got crazy fucking tired all of a sudden.
Were you running in front of a car?
No.
If you run in front of a car, you can get tired. But if you run it behind it, you'll get exhausted. Nothing from either of you, huh?
All right, Pat. Three Finger News. News that's sure to shock you. Pat just had the worst dad joke ever. And here we go.
I have so many worse.
So before we read any news articles or anything, obviously we all know what happened. There was a school shooting in Texas yesterday. 19 children killed, 2 adults. I don't think we have much of a news article for it. At least what I saw, it just pretty much sums it up. What happened? Pat, where are you at with this?
Okay, so first things first. I'm watching the news the day before yesterday. Not yesterday. And it's like 2 dead in a school shooting. Many more wounded. I'm like, that sucks. And then I come in like, I don't know, 4, 5 hours later, and it's been 2 dead, 2 dead, 2 dead, 2 dead. I come in like 4 or 5 hours later, and it's like 15 dead. One of them was a teacher, and I'm like, damn, that sucks much worse. And then I come in this morning, and it says 21 dead, 19 of them were students, 2 were teachers, and I was like, god damn, like, how fucking scattered was all of this? And then I'm watching it, and they're like, it was all in one classroom, and I'm like, how the did you mess up the count then? Like, did you see this happen this way?
To be honest with you, I saw a little bit of it yesterday. I tend to not engage in this sort of stuff. Not to get too involved. Even today, like, before we started the show, I actually read a bunch of articles about it because I didn't want to sound stupid. Okay. Actually, because this is, like, the second mass shooting in a few weeks. So I went and researched the other one as well, just to have a little bit of background into what's going on. Because again, I try not to watch mainstream media too much. I would say my guilty pleasure is Friday night on my way home from pool. I turn on whatever late show is on the Fox radio station. It's either Hannity or the Ingram Angle or the Gutfeld show. One of those is on when I'm on my way home, and I'll listen to that for a little bit. Is
Gutfeld a name, or is that
Gutfeld?
You feel it in your gut?
No, it's his last name.
Oh, that's pretty great for naming a fucking show.
Yeah, but anyway, so clearly, I want to start this conversation by I went to a training, I don't know, 6-8 weeks ago for work. That was totally unrelated to this, but the trainer was telling us that he is an active shooter trainer. Like, he teaches people or companies how to respond to an active shooter situation. Yeah. And he said that he tells his kids, his wife, everybody, if there's an active shooting situation, if you're at school, in a wherever you are, the goal isn't to hide in a corner. The goal is, your responsibility is to exit the building in whatever way you can, the fastest way you can, and run. And don't stop running until you get to somewhere that you know to be safe.
Yeah, right? That makes completely logical sense.
Yes. So, coincidentally, and we're going to get into more of this.
I can tell you how when we used to do shooting drills and stuff, it was in elementary school. They had a green smiley face on the wall, and every single person was supposed to, like, they would go in lockdown, and every single person was supposed to sit in that corner, and then the principal would come by and try to open the door, and the teacher would lock it, and then he would just leave.
Yeah.
Well, I think the idea that's twofold. One, you're obviously locking yourself into safety and out of harm's way. But two, I assume you were not visible from the hallway, so if somebody tried to get in and the door was locked, they could have the assumption that there's just nobody in there and the door's locked.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're thinking, like, logically here, then first of all, chances are that they went to school too when they're in elementary school, and they know what they do, and they probably researched it before they did it. But apart from that, I mean, who, like, looks in a room on a school day and, like, says, and it's empty, and, like, you're actively shooting the school, you know, and it's like, oh, well, it's just empty, you know. Obviously they're in there.
So this is exactly why I had Colin on the show, is to talk about this. So I got an email from Colin's school today about the shooting yesterday. And based off what I read in the email, I thought that they would be going over active shooting drills today, because let's do it while it's, you know, it's actually around. Let's see what they're supposed to do.
It is on everybody's mind.
We had a fire drill, but I don't think that had to do anything with the shootings.
Nope, has nothing to do with
really missed the mark on that one.
Yeah, I know, but I didn't know, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, trust me, it's not the same. Clearly, you know that it's not the same. So, I asked Colin about this. He said that they did zero active shooting drills today. Instead, I just found out they did a fucking fire drill. Because that makes sense. So, So, I came home, and I told my wife this, and she won't do it. But I told Colin, I didn't even have to tell him. He said, if there's a shooter in my school, I'm running out of the building. That's what I'm doing. And I said, good. That's exactly what I was going to tell you to do. You run out of the building, however fast you can, and you run until you get to this house. Now, luckily, I only live like a mile and a half from the school. So, all good, phobic. I figured you got busy. No big deal. But that is what you were to do. Run to this house, and you know that you're safe. Don't wait for anybody. Don't look back. You run to this house. Your safety is the most important thing to yourself, not everybody else. Fuck your friends. If your friends are smart, they'll follow you. Pat, do you agree with that?
I do. I agree with that. I appreciate that we're talking about how to pull people out of the water. I really think I don't know. I'm not sure what part of what you're saying you thought I would disagree with. My concern is.
Oh, that's not my take yet. That's not my take yet.
Oh, okay.
That's not my take on this. But I want to have Colin on because he's in school, right? Two, I wanted to make sure that he understood what I expected him to do in a situation if it were to happen. And I don't care what teachers say. I don't care what the principal says. I don't care what the police say. You run until you get to this fucking house. I also told my wife that I'm going to buy her a little 380 and she's to carry it with her to school. She won't do it, but I got to tell you, if there's a little fucking shit, or anybody, right? Like, this kid wasn't even part of that school, obviously. He was 18 years old. If anybody's going to walk in and start fucking shooting people, you have every right to defend yourself.
Well, and you certainly have, I mean, the only reason, and we're going on a different scale here, but a bully is a bully is a bully, and a bad person is a bad person. The only reason Russia hasn't wiped Ukraine off the map is because other people have guns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, a school shooter knowing that school has guns inside of it is, they would have to, even though I get these people are mentally unwell and they're not really thinking things through, I still think that having guns inside the school would limit the number of people who thought that was the right way to pull off something like that. I think they would go, you know what, I'm not going to do it in the school because, you know, I'm not going to kill enough people, or I'm not going to have a big enough impact. What if somebody gets me right away? Then I don't get to leave my legacy. Whatever sick thing that they're going with.
I feel like they wouldn't, like, I think that it would be less effective if there was guns in it. I don't think that it would stop them, though. Like, I feel like if they walked
I don't think it would entirely stop them. I agree.
Because, well, I don't, like, I see it decreasing, but not to a substantial amount, because if, like, the people that go in there normally are just, like, going in, killing people, and then don't care. Like, they're expecting that they're going to get shot by either police or someone else.
No,
so if
absolutely.
So here's my thing, right? And this is just, I could be very wrong in this. I didn't research it before the show, but to my recollection, in my lifetime, there's only been 3 mass shootings at a school.
Well,
one,
I think if you're talking the true definition of a mass shooting, I think they happen all the time and they don't end up on the news.
No, I'm talking about
thinking of Columbine, Newtown, and now this one.
Yes. You know what I mean? But mass shooting is 3 people or more. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if somebody gets shot at a school, it's making the news. It doesn't matter if it's 1 person or fucking 10 people. It's making the news. Now, stabbings, people bringing guns to school, all that shit happens. But is there actually somebody shot? Like, that makes all the difference. So, but we're talking mass casualties, like a lot of casualties, because they'll also call a mass shooting if 3 people just got hit with a bullet, not necessarily died. They consider that a mass shooting. Erica said, from what I understand, there was an offer from the school that was shot outside after a kid crashed his car. That kid was wearing body armor. Again, you can't stop shit like that.
Yeah, the kid was wearing body armor that was not packed with the plates, I think. I think it was like the appearance of body armor. I'm not positive.
Again, I don't know a lot about this. I haven't read into it. I read the basis of the story just to have some knowledge on it. And to be honest with you, that's probably where it's going to stop. So, but are you ready?
ready?
Yeah, good.
Before you get into your hot take, since 1982, there have been at least 107 mass shootings in schools.
Well, wasn't Sandy Hook or something like that? I think that was one, right? I
That's
don't know.
Newtown.
Yeah, Newtown is Sandy Hook. The
Wasn't
town is Newtown.
That's in Connecticut, right?
Yes, that's actually where Erica is
Yeah.
from. Again, like we got to be talking over 5 deaths before I start considering it a mass shooting, because
Yeah,
their
I don't disagree.
definition. Their definition is like 2 or 3. It's very low.
I mean, I don't know what number I would pick, but I agree that if a couple people are murdered, I'm not sure that we should be calling that a mass shooting at this point.
Well, especially like if it's like, I mean, it's still horrible, but I feel like if 2-3 high schoolers died, it would be a lot different if 2-3 elementary school kids died.
That's the difference between tragic and not tragic, right there. How old are the people getting killed? That's why the Columbine one was so big, because nobody had seen people that young die, and then Newtown happened, and we were like, holy shit, that's next level. But how many bad things happened between those two things that weren't a big enough jump and weren't going to create enough shock value to an audience, so the media never gave them the respect that they deserved?
Yeah.
In their minds, to be honest with you, they don't deserve any respect, and they don't like the shit to a degree. Like their names and all that shit, they should not be released. You know what I mean?
I was under the impression that we were never releasing names again. I thought that was after Adam Lanza. I thought that was it. I thought it was, we're done doing names because these motherfuckers are trying to get glorified.
Well, I can tell you right now, you can go get the kid's name. It's out there. So it's
Oh, I have it right in front of me.
yeah. So, pretty crazy. But so this is my take on it. If you don't know how the kid got the guns, on a kid's 18th birthday, he went to a Dick's Sporting Goods store and bought 2 what they are calling AR-15s. They were I don't know if they were automatic, but they were semi-automatic rifles or automatic rifles.
So there's gonna be like a huge protest about guns, probably, right?
Of course there
Every
will be.
time.
Now listen, I have a Connecticut gun permit to carry a pistol, concealed carry, open carry, doesn't matter. I have my permit. One, I don't think anybody under the age of 25 should be able to get a pistol permit. I also don't believe that any state in the union should be able to give you a firearm unless you do a criminal background check of some sort. And I don't even mean a criminal background check. I mean a background
violent crime background check.
Yeah, a background check of some sort that will result in, like, I'm even talking in this day and age, social media background check. Like you said, criminal background check, violent crime background check, fucking federal background. Like, there should be so many. Like, there has to be something that changes. And, like, I'm not saying we need to not sell guns. I'm not saying that people shouldn't have guns. I'm not on that side of it. But what I'm saying is we need more reform to get people vetted who are carrying firearms.
Yeah, so I have a coworker. This is going to be directly related. We're going to go around our ass to get to our elbow, but we'll get there. I have a coworker who thinks that in America, you have the right to say whatever you want, whenever you want. And I said, no, you don't have that right. Like, you can't yell fire in a crowded building. And he said, yeah, you can. You just have to deal with the consequences. And we've had this conversation about a million things, and I always use the same example, and he always comes up with that very stupid response. And I say, it's not your right. It's your ability. You have the ability to yell fire in a crowded building. It is illegal. It is not within your rights. So what you're talking about is giving rights to people because they've earned them. They've kept a clean criminal record, or at least a clean violent criminal record. They haven't been posting on social media that they want to go shoot up a school, for example. And everybody in some places has the ability to walk into a store. That shouldn't give them the right.
Yes, that's exactly my point. And again, I'm all about listen, you're never going to stop illegal guns, right? So these cities, New York City's one of them. Chicago's another one. You cannot possess a firearm in those 2 cities. Yet, there's fucking been 2 subway shootings in the last 2 months in New York City. There's shootings every day in Chicago. People will obtain guns illegally. That's not going to stop them. What will stop them is people being able to carry guns legally and defend themselves so that more than one person doesn't get killed, right? Because if a bad person pulls out a gun, chances are somebody's getting shot, right? But if somebody around them has a gun, it stops with that one person. Or hopefully stops with that one person. You know what I mean?
Yes. Tom, I'm going to go the opposite direction. I'm going to say nobody should be allowed to carry guns at this point. There should be no guns anywhere because that will also stop the criminals from carrying guns. Just like when they outlawed drugs, all the drug addicts stopped doing drugs and the drug dealers stopped selling them. It's the only way to solve the problem is to make it illegal rather than taking responsibility. Let's be realistic. If that was a fucking bank, try killing 21 people inside of a fucking bank that guards these people's money. Because you're not killing 21 fucking people inside of a bank. There are armed guards. We protect our money because we fucking care about it. And we don't care about these kids. That's why they keep fucking dying.
Man, that was a great fucking take, Pat. That was a great fucking take. I fucking love it.
We've been having this goddamn conversation for so long, and we still somehow don't protect these fucking kids. I don't get it. If your kid's going to school, don't you want your fucking kid protected?
Well, I'm telling you right now, right? And this is why I'm a little upset with my son's school. This is why I told my son what I told him today, or he already knew what to do without me even telling him, which is awesome. I don't give a fuck about that school. I don't give a fuck about a single person in that school other than my child. It doesn't, nothing else matters in that school. So the fact that they couldn't take a fucking half hour of their day today to go over what they want them to do and then me correct my son and tell him what to do is mind-blowing to me. Instead, they did a fucking fire drill and assembled all the kids outside so somebody could drive by and fucking shoot them all. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. And, you know, like the superintendent's email today was like, oh, we have more security. Colin, do you go through any sort of metal detector or screening on your way into the building?
No, but I will say this, though, that there was just one that I saw, at least, police car outside today.
Oh, well,
that's good. You know what? It's better than nothing. I'm glad that they at least increased their presence because God knows but one day there's going to be a copycat the next day.
Hold on, Colin. How many days a week do you see a cop at your school?
Unless there was like a threat of school shooting or like someone brought a knife or something like that, then there's no days that they come to school.
Hey, Colin, guess who protected the Garth Brooks concert that your father just went to? The military.
That's a true fucking story. When I was walking out,
how fucking crazy is that? We'll protect the adults that go to a Garth Brooks concert before we protect the children trying to get a goddamn education. Here's one better for you, Tom. I don't know if you read this or not. This is absolutely fucking mind-blowing. So, I read this right before the show. I'm so glad I didn't have time to think about it because I would have fucking been insane. The 18-year-old gunman. This is a look at the order of events on Tuesday. We're only going to talk about the first one. The 18-year-old gunman, who has been identified by officials and had shared plans on Facebook about 30 minutes before reaching the school. Texas Governor Abbott said that a spokesperson for Meta, which is the company that used to be Facebook, said Wednesday that these were private one-to-one text messages, contrary to Governor Abbott's assertion that the gunman made posts on Facebook. Okay, that's awesome. It's crazy that Meta's defense was about what Governor Abbott said. Here's the thing. Tom, what's something that you and I are not at all interested in? You know what? Let's talk about the ballet. Let's talk about the ballet for 5 fucking minutes right now. My tablet's open. I love the ballet. The Nutcracker was my favorite show. And tomorrow when I scroll Facebook, there will be an advertisement for ballet tickets or the Nutcracker or a fucking tutu. But we can't use that technology to see these one-on-one conversations or these posts, whatever the fuck you want. Don't stop splitting hairs about how it was on Facebook. If it was on Facebook and you have the algorithms to deliver me kitty litter when I mention maybe getting a kitten, You can't stop a fucking school shooter? The motherfucker was sending messages. They can do it with me audibly. I don't have to send a message to you about ballet. They're picking the shit up right now. It's not like a crazy government conspiracy. We know it happens. There are thousands of accounts of it happening. So I'm not just insanely saying this would be really cool. They're fully capable of doing it. And again, they would rather get money from us than protect these fucking kids.
And it's not a time to time thing that like it chimes in from what you're saying from time to time either. It's like 24/7. It's like if you talked about something for a solid, I guarantee you, if you go on your thing right now, it will say something about guns if you scroll far enough.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
No, guaranteed. Like, even if I Google something on my phone, right? If I, like, say I'm looking up a product, guaranteed the next time I log into Facebook, there's an advertisement for it on my feed. So you're 100% right. And there will be something about ballet in your thing in the next 24 hours. Guaranteed.
So this fucking I have a CNN article for the record. I just searched what I thought was the most information. I kind of flipped through them real fast, and this one looked like it had a lot of shit to it.
All right, you found the
one of the things that
trashiest
they do-
news out there. Gotcha.
One of the things that they do is they list all of the victims and kind of like just do a little tidbit about them. Like, this one loves fucking finger painting. Here's the thing. What a weird fucking way to cover the story. What a weird fucking way. How about instead of talking about the 10-year-old that just got killed, that you didn't care about yesterday, how about you talk about how you're going to save the next 10-year-old's life? That's all I fucking care about right now. How are we going to prevent this from happening in the future? I don't want to know what happened. I don't even care what happened. I care that it's not going to happen again.
So Erica just said this. There's an officer at both the schools I work in. They're there every day. So, but this just goes to show you, right? Erica works in an uppity area, right? A very well-off area of the state. That school has a fucking police officer there every day. The middle school, or the elementary school, and the high school. How come Torrington, where I pay a lot of fucking taxes, a lot, cannot put a fucking police officer or two at each one of their fucking schools every day?
How about this? How about a police officer at every fucking entrance and exit?
Why can't they just hire more people to do that? I don't get why it has to.
Well, and here's the thing. We've talked about this before. Everybody on one side of the politics wants to decrease police forces and use them elsewhere. Okay. How about we come to an agreement? How about you take those fucking guys that you want to take their policing jobs away from and give them policing school zone jobs? Like, that seems like a perfectly reasonable use. Erica said her school's also right next to Newtown. So after a ton of students get killed, we will start protecting the rest of the students. We've really got to get past this fucking reactive mentality. We know
Erica just sent me
going to happen.
No, listen, again, I'm not, some of these are colleges, some of these are high schools, some of these are middle schools, elementary schools, they're all in there.
Oh, that's right, there was a super huge college shooting we forgot about.
Oh, yeah, Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
It's a long list of all the schools that had some sort of shooting incident at it. Again, I would, and listen, one person getting shot, two people getting shot, it's still too many. And it doesn't, like, I'm not saying, like, all these are horrible things. I would like to see how many had, like, more than 5 deaths. Like, figure that out. Or 5 people even get hit with a bullet. But either, like you said, it's so simple, right? People are going to talk about term limits. They're going to talk about this. They're going to talk about that. It's so fucking simple for us to pass a law that require, and it shouldn't be state by state. It should be a federal thing that if you are going to get a firearm, you need to pass a federal background check. And with all, like Pat's saying, with all these algorithms and everything, it could take fucking 10 seconds for some sort of computer software to scan all your social media stuff. You know what I mean? It should be that, like, it shouldn't take that much to come up with this.
We also have we have the ability, and I mean, we're not even talking about a large financial investment here. We have the ability to make it difficult, not impossible, but difficult to enter a school while it's literally just as easy to walk out of it. You can lock the door coming in, but keep it unlocked going out. Okay, so now to gain access to the school, you need to work at it, and to get out of the school, you don't. I like that. Let's do that. But also, what's the app that the police have, or the technology that the police have? I think it's called Shot Finder. So if I shoot a gun on Main Street in Hartford, they know exactly where the bullet was. They know exactly where I shot it. They pick it up like via satellite. You're going to tell me that using that same technology, you can't have something in every single school, elementary, middle, private, high, college, every one of them, where if a gunshot goes off, that school automatically opens the fuck up, windows, doors, everything fucking open, emergency ladders, some fucking escape routes, and police can't be dispatched immediately upon the first shot. No 911 phone call, no alert of any sort other than a gun went off. That should be the end all be all for every fucking first responder in the area.
Pat, I think we got some solid fucking ideas on our hands that can make us, that money that you're talking about the banks protecting, it could have us have a lot of money in those banks.
We're going to come up with a security company?
Something.
Here's the thing, because nobody will say
Luckily, I know a couple IT guys that could probably write the algorithms for it to scan a federal back, like all your social media stuff, within 35 seconds.
Oh my God, I got the perfect name for it. We're going to call it PMS, Protect My School. No, so here's the thing, and I hate to even bring this up, Tom, but you're going to agree with me. It's not that we're going to fight about it. You're going to agree with me. But it's annoying that I even need to make this fucking point. You know what's not being talked about right now? And if it was 2 or 3 years ago, it would have been the main topic of discussion. Never mind that there's dead kids. Nobody would have cared. This is what we would have talked about if the last president was still in office. This school, 90% of the students are Hispanic, 81% are economically disadvantaged. And they would have said, this was a race-fueled shooting. Nobody's talking about that right now. Not because it wasn't, not because the last one was, not because anything other than the president isn't being questioned as a racist, so this school shooting wasn't racist. And
True.
That's fucking mind-blowing to me.
Well, that I looked this up. They're saying that the shooting in Buffalo was racially motivated.
I didn't bring it up. We were going to talk about that before. You know when they said that?
When?
In the headlines immediately. And I opened one up and I was like, fuck, that sucks, because I hate that argument, man. And I hate racism in general. And I started reading and it was like, nobody knows for sure, but there have been some leads and we're pretty sure this guy didn't like black people. And I was like, your fucking headline was that this was racially motivated. And I think it turned out that it absolutely was racially motivated. But they didn't know that at the time, so they just threw it in a headline real quick.
Of course.
Are you talking about the one where the guy went into a Walmart or something like that and killed a bunch of people?
I think it was a grocery store in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was a Tops Market.
He had the N-word on his gun and a bunch of stuff. So, and I'm pretty sure the majority of people, I don't know if he killed only black people or Hispanic people or something like that.
No, 2 white people died.
Yeah,
I think he might have only tried to kill black people, and he certainly was going for the mass of black people. Here's the thing. Was that racially motivated? Yeah, but that's not my point. My point is we were ready to call it that before it fucking happened.
Of course we were.
I hate that shit.
Yeah. It's a sad world we live in, man. It really is. It's scary to think about. I don't know what I would do, man. I couldn't imagine. Imagine. I guarantee you, all of those parents saw that shit on the news or heard about it on the news before they knew that it happened. That their kids were at that school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That to me is fucking banana land. I couldn't imagine that. Could you imagine me being at work?
Whoa,
And-
whoa. Erica wrote a fucking book.
Erica
Erica
said,
said, if a mass shooting is defined as resulting in the death of 4 or more people, not including the perpetrator, 169 people have died in 14 such events connected to U.S. schools and colleges, from 1999's Columbine High School massacre to Tuesday's shooting in Texas. That's according to a database compiled by the Associated Press, USA Today, and Northern University, and to other AP reporting. Okay, so to answer your question, Tom, how many? 14 since 99, 169 victims.
it's crazy.
It's insane. Among them, what I have here, the 5 deadliest school shootings among K to 12, so no college, but it's Newtown in 2012, Robb Elementary last Tuesday,
Yesterday,
and then Parkland in Florida, Columbine in 99, and Santa Fe, Texas, Santa Fe High School in Texas in 2018. Those are the 5 biggest.
It's crazy. So this happened, I didn't realize how close it was, but it's 80 miles from San Antonio where my brother lives, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, super close.
Not as close as us to Newtown, but still fucking crazy. I mean, I think
Right.
Connecticut's like 80 miles wide, so it's really... There isn't many places in Connecticut that's less than 80 miles from each other.
Right.
But anyway, man, thoughts go out to all those families. It sucks. Hopefully, I would like to see that we do something with this. Knowing our government and the people that we put in power, they ain't going to do shit because, like Pat said, we rather guard our money at banks than protect innocent children's lives because money is the root of all evil, and that's more important to everybody.
Yeah, to the parents, siblings, friends, and all the relatives of all 169 people that have died since 1999 in these mass school shootings. I'm sorry that the person you love's life was not worth the money it would take to protect it. To the people who make the rules, that's really fucking sad.
Yeah.
But that's the God's honest truth: is your kid's not worth it, and that's why it didn't happen.
Damn, Pat, this is one... We should have done this in the beginning of the show. This is such a bad way to end the show. Anyway, Colin, thank you for being on the show. Go eat your dinner.
Wait. Hold on, I can get one for you. I had I gotta send it to you. You want to throw up a meme?
Not really.
It's a happy meme.
Yeah, but we gotta go, bro. I gotta eat dinner. I gotta get the show up. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I had a long day. I'm
All
running
right,
a
well,
long
that
day
meme
tomorrow.
will be in the next meme section, which is Sunday morning for the live crowd and Memorial Day for anybody listening in the car.
Yeah.
I
Pat?
thought Memorial Day was Monday.
It is.
It
We
is. That's when the
we
show
released
will
the
air.
show on Monday.
Okay.
Colin, thanks for being on the show, man.
Colin, you were a fantastic guest.
Thanks
Colin.
for having me, guys.
Go eat your dinner real quick and go take a shower before you go to bed. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
Pat? Pat, you gonna end the
Number
show?
Niners.
Jesus Christ.
Well, yeah, now that Colin's... I'm good. Number Niners, I say, good day.